Varahmihir is more than just a name. He stands as a lighthouse for Indian astronomy and astrology. In today's video, I'll explore Varahamihir's exceptional talent in both astronomy and astrology, his writing proficiency, his notable role under King Vikramaditya of Avantika, and his remarkable accuracy in prediction ability. I'll demonstrate how it is possible to make precise prediction about life events using horary astrology even without an exact birth time. I created a horary chart to explore the potential planetary combination associated with the renowned astronomer and astrologer Varahmihir. Upon analyzing the chart, I identified several Vedic planetary combinations and the position of other celestial bodies. I was intrigued to see how horary astrology adds an astrologer in understanding events from 1500 years ago. Before I present the celestial combination, I would like to take a moment to highlight the great Varahamihir. He was a distinguished astronomer, mathematician, astrologer, and a writer from Avantikapuri, now known as Ujjain. Remarkably, he discovered water on Mars roughly 1500 years ago and was among the earliest mathematicians to formulate a version of what we now call Pascal triangle. Varahmihir was also knowledgeable in Sanskrit, ecology, hydrology, and geology. His assertion that plants and termites can indicate the presence of underground water is gaining recognition in the scientific community. Furthermore, he was a prolific author. Regarding his lifespan, textbooks commonly state it as 505 to 587 Common Era. Though I have a reservation about this lifetime frame, and the topic is currently part of my research. He was among the nine James at the court of King Vikramaditya. Now, I will explain how horary astrology can be used to access career paths, professions, skills, life status, and fame based on the position of celestial bodies. This is the horary chart. Within this chart, I identified one of the Panchmahapurusha Yoga, Malvaya Yoga. This unique celestial configuration occurs exclusively with Venus when it is placed in Kendra from the Lagan, signifying a life filled with enjoyment regardless of one's material condition. Venus symbolizes wealth and refined taste, suggesting that one will experience richness and thrive in an environment filled with the beauty and comfort. This yoga indicates a life free of sorrow. It offers positive outcomes for professions such as media planners, cosmetic and plastic surgeons, interior decorators, photographers, astrologer, marriage bureau director, TV hosts, beauticians, film or television actors, fashion designers, musicians, models, singers, Ayurvedic practitioners, pharmaceuticals, manufacturers, and many others whose work is connected to the attributes of Venus. This positioning of Venus in the horary chart clearly signifies a status in life, renown, and reputation, much like Varahamihir, who led a life of luxury and happiness as one of the nine jewels of King Vikramaditya. Now, let me clarify that the second celestial planetary combination in this chart is created by Jupiter. Jupiter is positioned in next to the moon. This alignment of the moon and Jupiter forms Sunafa Yoga. The effects of this yoga result in the native being intelligent, wealthy, famous, and accomplished in various academic fields. Next, I examine the third celestial planetary combination involving Venus and the moon, which played a significant role in Varahami's remarkable achievement and success. Venus is positioned in the fourth house in Libra at 3 degree 30 minutes and 50 seconds, while the moon is located in the 10th house in Aries at 70 degrees 29 minutes and 50 seconds. Both planets occupy coordinate houses and aspect one another, resulting in Raj Yoga in this horary chart. Now I will illustrate how horary astrology uncovers one's professional skill and areas of expertise. Astrologers recognize that the third house is linked to various aspects of life. And here I am concentrating on one specific facet, boldness in any endeavor, or what can be referred to as authority in a given field. I emphasize the terms authority because the Varahmihir encountered to no challenge in his work. There was no one to question his prediction on his contribution to astronomy and other disciplines. In this horary chart, the third cups is positioned in Leo at 20 degrees 30 minutes and 43 seconds. Leo is renowned for characteristics like boldness, willpower, and a dynamic, expressive disposition. As a fire sign, Leo embodies a lively spirit and is associated with activity, ambition, vigor, vitality, and enthusiasm. The Sun governs Leo, and in this chart, it is prominently placed in the third house. This positioning strengthens the third house through the support of its Lord. The Sun symbolizes the soul, willpower, and authority. It is an indication its influence on the ninth house, which pertains to higher education. The Sun also aspects Rahu, located in the ninth house in the Pisces, a sign ruled by the Jupiter, the symbol of wisdom and intellectual property. The Sun invigorates Rahu in the ninth house, enhancing the potential for recognition and success through research, mathematics, and metaphysics. Rahu in Pisces fosters physics ability and heightened intuition in the individual. This planetary arrangement may explain how Varahmihir could predict the death of King Vikramaditya's son at the age of 18 due to a wild boar's claw. This serves as evidence of how horary astrology can illuminate various aspects of an individual's past, present, and the future events. Now I will discuss the planetary alignment pertaining to his higher education and skill in the astronomy, astrology, mathematics, and physics. In astrological chart, education is indicated by the fourth and the ninth house. In the present horary chart, the fourth house is influenced by Mercury and the Moon and the Venus. Notably, Venus is situated in the star of Mars, who governs the 11th house. The ninth house is under the influence of Saturn and two placement of Jupiter. Jupiter is also positioned in the star of Mars, the ruler of 11th house. Venus has a strong connection with the 4th house, ninth house, and the 11th house, as well as with Jupiter and Mars. This configuration strongly suggests the pursuit of higher education. Next, I will assess his research capabilities through the planetary combination in this horary chart. The ninth house, which represents higher education and research, is influenced by Saturn and two placement of Jupiter. Jupiter interacts with several houses, the third house, fifth house, sixth house, ninth house, 10th house, 11th and 12th house in addition to Saturn. This again points to exceptional expertise in astrology, paving the way for groundbreaking research and establishing him as a prominent scientist. His contribution to astronomy and astrology have captivated the global community. As this research reached its concluding phase, I wish to dwell into an integrating aspect regarding his father's profession. To investigate this, we examine the 10th house from the position of the sun to discern the nature of his father's profession. The sun is situated in the third house, leading us to identify the 12th house as the 10th house from the third house. In this horary chart, the 12th house is influenced by the Venus, Mars, and Saturn. Saturn is in the star of Purvabhadra, whose ruler is Jupiter. The Purva Bhadra constellation is associated with careers in teaching, dynamics, statics, astronomy, astrology, aviation, research, philosophy, and scientific endeavors. Notably, his father Aditya Das was a renowned astrologer who taught astrology to Varahmihir. In conclusion, this discussion illustrates how horary astrology can unveil aspects of past, present, and the future events in one's life. I encourage you to share your thoughts and disseminate this knowledge so that others may appreciate the power of Indian astrology. Thank you.